So I spent a good part of the morning baking. I thought I would try to make a peanut butter and banana bread. So we'll see what that turns out like. It looks alright. A little bit overdone probably on the edges there, but it's risen quite well. So yeah, looking forward to trying that. Might have been nice to have some chocolate in there, but I don't have any. I'll definitely be enjoying it with a cup of tea later and a read. And I will be reading and starting Victor Hugo's Notre de Paris today. It's the 1st of December. I do like Victor Hugo's Les Miserables, so I'm hoping stylistically this isn't going to be a disappointment. You know, we all think we know this story probably, but I don't know whether it is going to end up being like we think it's going to be or could be completely different. So this is a new one for me that I'm going to start. I won't read the introduction because I don't want to spoil anything. I'll save that till the end. And I'll read the first chapter and then I'll take Elvis out for a walk. And then after that, hopefully, once this has cooled down, a nice cup of tea and a slice of banana bread. So here we go. I hope the sunlight isn't too much for you. Looks all right, so we'll see. Just settling down to read in this chair, and whenever I do, I mean, Elvis likes sleeping in this chair, so I had to give it a bit of a rub down first. But every time I sit down in this chair, I have to throw a toy for Elvis, bless him. So we'll see how much reading I actually get done. I'm gonna, as I say, get through and try to get through chapter 1 of this before we head out. So I don't know, maybe you want to read with me. Sit back, relax, and off I go. Okay, so yeah, I've read the first chapter. I'm gonna take Elvis out now. I think you'll come along and we'll talk about it. Okay. So I've read the first chapter of Notre de Paris, or the Hunchback of Notre Dame, by Victor Hugo, and it means I currently outside because I have to take a certain somebody out with me. Where is he? There he is. You know, he needs to go out, of course. Can't just sit around reading all day. So yeah, it's hard to really judge on just the first chapter, but there are some things about it I really like because it's kind of the Victor Hugo that I'm, you know, used to. Dobrý den. But what was I going to say? Yeah, one of the things I really liked about Les Miserables was these kind of digressions and things, and it seems to me that this is going to have that in it too, which is great. So, you know, he goes in to the history, for example, of the old Palais de Justice, pardon my French there, which I believe was the old palace of the French kings before it got burned down in 1618, following the assassination of Henry IV, and the whole St. Bartholomew's Day thing and all that went on. You know, I'm trying to remember my history there from school, although he does do a good job, of course, telling us some of that information, which is great, which is really good, and I hope he continues to do that. So yeah, I think I'm going to enjoy it. We will have to see, of course, see what the next 2 chapters bring when I get in. I hope to read at least another chapter or so. Just standing here in the centre of the village, got the church behind me. The bells, the bells. I hope that's in the book, actually. I'll be a bit disappointed if it isn't. Yeah, and Elvis just stopped here at the bus stop, which I've shown on the channel before, but it's a little library, so I thought you can have a kind of look around. See, isn't that wonderful? You know, and if you fancy playing the piano, you can play the piano as well, or sit on the sofa, read a book. Used to be a nice wooden table in here with a chessboard on it, but it doesn't seem to be here anymore. So there we go. Unfortunately, none of the books are in English. No, Elvis trying to pee on the door. You can't do that. No manners, unbelievable. So, yeah. I don't know. That's probably it, really, for now, for this segment. And we'll just have a little more of a walk around, and then I will head on inside and read some more. There's Elvis. So yeah, we'll see you later as we continue with Notre de Paris. Wow. I thought, forgive me, talking with a mouthful, no manners. Actually, I'm going to say, I've outdone myself this time. I know when you watched this at the beginning of the video, you were thinking, I wonder how that tastes. Was it any good? And I have to say, it really was. I really wish you guys could come around, have some tea and eat some of this with me. It would be great. So I've changed position because the sun was getting to me there, and it's very much on that chair at the moment. You can see it's also moved around on this side. I've got the kitchen behind me. Excuse the mess on the countertop. I did clear it up earlier, but then I baked that banana bread, or peanut butter and banana bread actually, that you saw in the beginning. So yeah, I'm going to crack on now. I've read the first chapter as you already know, and I'm going to crack on reading chapters 2 and 3. I shouldn't say that actually, it's probably misleading. So it's probably more accurate to say I've read book 1 part 1, now I'm going to carry on through to book 1 parts 2 and 3. Don't worry, the segments will be sped up. You don't actually have to sit and watch me reading the whole thing, otherwise we could be here for a long time. So yeah, oh dear, the video cut out there. So anyway, let's continue. And you can see there I only have a Charles Dickens bookmark, not a Victor Hugo one. I may have to look into getting one. So let's carry on with book 1. Book 1 part 2, book 1 chapter 2. I don't know how it goes. And part 3 as well. That's what I'm reading through. I'm reading up to part 4. Anyway, I'm reading now. It's like those games, isn't it? Starting from now. There we go. Interesting. So I guess we'll talk about that in a minute, won't we? Elvis, won't we? What are you doing? I've got my little companion beside me there. You can see him. All camera shy. Are you camera shy? Are you? Okay, let's go outside. So we're outside again. A beautiful autumn late afternoon. Or is it mid-afternoon? I don't know. It's coming out to 4 o'clock. Be dark soon, I guess. Yeah, I just wanted to talk a bit about parts 2 and 3 of book 1 of Notre de Paris. Still enjoying it. Occasionally, perhaps, maybe a little long-winded, but then, you know, Les Miserables, that amazing book, is like that at times too. But, you know, you can forgive it because Hugo is such a wonderful writer, really, and great storyteller. There were some good bits in it. I have to say I enjoyed the introduction of the, I'm assuming going to be the main character, Pierre Grégoire, is it? Forgive my French pronunciation. In fact, the opening actually reminded me a bit of Edmond Rostand's Cyrano de Bergerac, because that starts off with people waiting to see a play. So I wonder if Rostand was at all kind of influenced by that. Who knows? Maybe not. But yeah, and that poor Jupiter was in a terrible position there, you know, where he was worried he's going to be hanged if he starts the play, or hanged by the crowd if he doesn't, right? So interesting character came up as well, which is the cleric. I forget his rank now. Is he a cardinal? Yeah, I think he's a cardinal. He's a Bourbon, related to the ruling royal house. And yeah, he seems a one, and quite a contrast to the cleric in the beginning of Les Miserables. In fact, this one in Notre de Paris, you know, he's very louche, and he loves to give alms to only attractive women, young attractive women, as opposed to old ugly ones, which is pretty harsh, right? But yeah, it's interesting, and he goes on a bit more about some history, although I have to say, he does make an error, unless it's just a conspiracy theory at the time, where he implies that Louis XI poisoned the English King Edward IV, who did actually die, I think, from maybe over excess, but he implies that Edward died from drinking poison wine that Louis sent him. Anyway, yeah, it's still good, and I'm looking forward to cracking on, but I shan't read any more today, so thus ends this vlog of my opening journey with Victor Hugo's Notre de Paris, or the Hunchback of Notre Dame, or the Quarterback of Notre Dame. There we have it. So from Elvis and I, Elvis looking very regal himself there, staring out across the fields behind me. We wish you all a lovely day, wherever you are and whatever you're doing. Take care, everybody. Bye bye.